Hello, good morning, champions. Happy Sunday. Today is day 13, and we are going to focus on program evaluation. Before I jump into the topic for today, I want to introduce myself to those that are new to myself or my brand. My name is Omotola the Great. I am the lead consultant here at the Funding Magnet, where our mission is to aid and support at least 1,000 non-profit to fully fund their mission. We do this through supporting you either with training, answering your questions, and also we believe that you don't have to go broke to make a living and that you can make a difference while making a living as well. And so we're here to support your work. We're here to cheer you on and to help you to see the possibility that exists as well. We know that as a non-profit, it can be hard when you're starting out of passion, out of purpose, out of pain, and without the know-how. And so we're here to lend you our skill, here to lend you our expertise and just support you to ensure that you can do good. We know for a lot of you, you want to do good, you want to make a difference in the life of others, you want to save life, you want to transform communities for good. And so we're here to support you on the way as we go forward. So that's a bit about us. If you have any questions or concerns, always we're just a DM away. Also, I started this series to be a 31-day series. So today is day 13, and we still have some more days to go for sure. And this is based on questions that people have asked about specific areas of non-profit. So over the past 13 days, we've covered different ranges, and today we are going to focus on program evaluation. So what is program evaluation and how is it important to your work? I hear a lot of people saying, but I didn't get this grant, or I tried to apply for this funding and I didn't get it. I don't know what I did wrong. And so I'm going to share from my experience and just give you some tips to support you as you go forward. So one of the reasons why you might not get a grant or a proposal that you've written, no matter how great and wonderful and how inspiring it may be, might be because you don't have a program evaluation plan. And so a program evaluation is telling those that are funding your supporter to say, okay, how are you going to show us what you exactly did? How are we going to know that you actually made a difference? How are we going to know that you made an impact in the life of those that you said you're going to serve? And so if, for instance, you work with an organization and you're like, okay, we work with children. Let's say the children that you work with, you're trying to focus on education, right? So how are you going to measure that you actually help them improving their education? So program evaluation is very important. And if you do it well, it can actually help you bring in more funding, more support to your work. And so it's highly important that you take it seriously. So the first step to do in order to ensure that you have a great program and that you evaluate it well is, one, always talk to the beneficiary. Do it before. So most likely there's going to be a starting base for everybody that joins you, right? And so can you do a starting base where you ask them specific questions like, okay, where are you right now? What led to this situation? What have you tried? What has worked? What is your hope and expectation? So a pre-survey or a pre-evaluation will help you to understand where each of these beneficiaries are going to start from. And then let's say your theory of change or the solution that you are going to apply, it's going to take 3 months or 6 months. Then your goal is like at least halfway through that program, do another evaluation. And this evaluation is just to check in to say, okay, what is working? What is not working? Is there any improvement? Maybe before the students were an F student, were they able, they were tested again after 1.5 months, were they able to move to D student or C student? What does that look like? And then check what made it happen. What made you get the result that you're getting as well? Then after the program is over, so let's say it's after 3 months or 6 months, no matter the number of time they said your program is going to be about, then do a post-evaluation to say, okay, 6 months ago, you were at F. Now, within the 6 months that we've been working with you as an organization, what has changed? Were you able to move from being an F student to be a B student, or an F student to C student, or an F student to be an A student? What made it happen? What were the core ingredients? What were the things that made it happen? Was it because of the tutors? Was it because of the mentors? Was it because of the mindset workshop? Was it because extra hours that you spent in studying? And so it's really important that you take the time to do this. If you can collate this information and create your program evaluation, it can eventually help you to lead to things that you can now say to potential funders to say, okay, you know what, we did this program when these people were, before they came to our program, this was where they were, this was their result, this was the situation of their life. But after 3 months in our program or after 6 months in our program, this is the result that we're able to get. So you need to be able to show us and take us through a journey and show us the before and the after, no matter how small the duration is within that period as well. And so you should take some time to definitely consider the work that you do and ensure that you are able to do this program evaluation. And the reason why program evaluation are great is because when it's time for you to start raising money or looking for support, you can use it. You can even quote your beneficiaries without having to share their name and their betray their privacy if they don't want to know. To say, this is what one of our participants said. This is what one of our beneficiaries said. Before they came into our program, this was what their life was about. But after 3 months or 6 months in our program, this is what the difference they are making. This is the difference we made. This is the result that we got. And we want you to help more people. You can come up with a name for them. You don't have to use their real name as well. And so as a non-profit, program evaluation is very key to your success. It's key for your sustainability. And beyond just getting money from funders, beyond just using it to raise support, it's also good for you as an organization internally, because you need to know, what are we doing well, what are we not doing well, what are the things that are standing in the way of our progress, what are the things that ensures that we're able to get the result that we promised to the supporters, to the funders that we're going to get. And so it's very important that you take the time to really create a program evaluation. And usually, if you're going for bigger kind of funds, especially on the international level, they're going to ask you for a program report or program evaluation to say, have you done a program evaluation? Can you share with us? And so you need to be able to know the numbers. You need to have statistics to back up your word. And for some of you might be thinking about me, small non-profit, I'm just getting started. You're just getting started. Make time for program evaluation. Make it part of what you do. Make it a normal thing that everybody knows that, you know what, it's not just enough to design a program and execute it, but we need to evaluate it. Were we effective? If we said we're going to reach 100 people and 100% of these 100 people are with their life is going to be transformed, how exactly was their life transformed? Was that what we intended to do in the beginning? And is that the result that we are getting? But if, let's say, that was not the result that you're getting, you need to check to say what went well, what did not go well, what do you need to start to do more of, what do you need to continue to do, and what do you need to stop doing. Sometimes you might have the best laid out plan, you might have the best program, but it won't just work. But if you keep doing it just for the sake of doing it and because of your ego, you're not going to make any difference. You're not going to affect any change in the world. So you need to take the time to really sit down to say, okay, why are we getting the result we're getting? Why are we able to help half of these people, but the other half is as if no matter what we do, the result is not changing for the better? So you need to be able to question it. And so one of the favorite quotes I love is, it says, an unexamined life is not worth living. The same thing for an organization. That's what I like to call it. An unexamined organization is not worth running. You need to know, to say, okay, this is what. And then another reason why this program evaluation is really good and important for you is because it helps you to actually establish your processes. Think of it like a standard operating procedure to say, this is our SOP. For us to get these results, if we say that we want to impact the life of youth and transform their life for good, this is the step that we have to take as an organization. And so this helps you in terms of long-term planning. So even, let's say, something happened and you are not available and you cannot be there, and if you have those documents, you can pass it on to any of your team members and they can still run the organization without you if they follow that plan, if they follow that SOP that you've created through your program evaluation. So you need to take some time to definitely check and see, to say, okay, what are we doing well? What are we not doing well? What can we stop doing? What can we start doing? What can we continue to do? How does this affect the people that we serve? How does this make a difference in their life? How does this ensure that we can help them and support them in the long run? And so I hope that helps. And so how do you even get started with program evaluation? There are different ways that you can go about it. First and foremost, you can do a survey, where you get a sheet of paper or use Google Forms or any of the forms online and just create questions. You don't have to ask for their name, especially if you want to keep their privacy. And so you can create questions like, okay, what was the situation before you came into our program? Where are you? What have you tried? What were some of the challenges or issues or problems that you were facing? What did you think can help? So that can be part of your pre-survey. Then your post-survey can now be like, okay, in the last 3 months you've been in this program, what has changed for you? So you can either use a paper document, or you can do it online and then you can send it to those potential beneficiaries, and then you can still keep their privacy as well. Another way that you can do program evaluation is to do interviews. So sometimes we call it focus group interviews, where you get a group of your beneficiary together, like maybe from 5 upward, but no more than like 20 or 25. And then you speak to them, and then you say, you know what, yes, we're not going to coach you with your name. We just want to understand what is working in this program and what is not working. And so you can do a focus group interview where you get a percentage of your the population that you serve to say, okay, tell us what is going on. Before you came into our program, what was the situation like? What helped? What did not help? Now that you've been part of the program, what has changed? How has that changed? What was different from the solution that we used versus what you tried to do on your own? And so that's another way that you can definitely do a program evaluation. Another way is you can do a case study where you center on one person or one family or one community, and it's all about them, to say, you know what, this is what can happen if you're able to help more people. Let me tell you about Tayo. Let me tell you about John. You don't have to use their real name. And so it can be centered on one of your participants to say, this is what happened. This is what transformation look like. This is what saving life look like. This is what changing life look like. And you take us through a journey of this was there before and this is there after. This is what happened before and this is where they are right now. And so if you have specific question about program evaluation and why it's important for your organization and how you can do it, feel free to leave it in the chat, or you can also send us a DM as well, and we'll be happy to answer it. But take program evaluation seriously. I know for a lot of nonprofit, it's the last thing that you think about, but it should be the first thing that you're thinking about, because if you can show the effectiveness of your work and you document it, it will help you when you're writing grants. It will help you when you're requesting for corporate sponsorship. It will help you when you're looking for individual donors to give to your organization, because it's become easier. Your work or your change or your transformation is no longer theory. We can see it vividly to say this is the life that is transformed. So I'll give you an example of my own nonprofit when I started in 2012. So our nonprofit worked with young students in secondary school in Nigeria. And so our transformation was that at the end of the day, these students, they were going to be able to either pass the national examination, which was either WAEC or JAM and NECO and the likes of them, and GCE. And then beyond that, another transformation that we had was that they were going to be able to go to college, and then they were able to graduate. So we started with them when they were in SS1, which will be freshman year of their high school period. And so we kept working with them. Eventually, one of our students, he was an F student when we started with us. And by the time we were done with him, he was the best graduating student for the whole of the state that we were living at that point in time. And then to make even matter better, he got accepted into a top universities in Nigeria. And so it was just a full circle. But we were able to interview him to say, okay, tell us, what was your life before Jumpstart Academy? What did you do? What did not help? What were you struggling with? What were the challenges and obstacles? People gave up on you, your teachers, your parents. But in the last 3 years that we've worked with you, we've seen your transformation, we've seen the change, we've seen the things that you're able to make happen. And then eventually, after, we're now able to interview that, okay, what is life after? What does it feel like to move from what people consider a failure, somebody that was dull, to now being considered a brilliant person, the best of the best in the world? And so we did a video documentary. And so that's another way that you can share about your impact, and can also record it beyond just written words. And so that video, we still use it today, and it is so powerful to see the journey, to see the before and to see the after. And now this student is going to graduate this year, and it just feels so good to know that we were able to help this person from someone that everybody in their life has given up on, to now helping them to see that the possibility are endless for their life. And guess what? We use this when we're looking for potential funder, potential donors and supporters to support the work that we do. And it works every single time because people can see it. They can see the difference between what was the life of this child before we bring in our own unique solution, and then what was the life after we implemented the work that we do. And so program evaluation can be a powerful tool. You can use it as a powerful tool to tell your story, to tell the story of your organization, to tell the story of change, to tell the story of transformation. And so make some time and look at your program this year. If you've not done it before, it's not too late to do a program evaluation now. Another way that you can use your program evaluation to serve you is to think of it like if you don't normally do an annual report to tell people of what you've done and how your organization is making a difference. So think about the last year, from January to December. What did you do? How many lives did you change? How many lives did you transform? How many lives did you save? How did you do it? What was the situation? What was the issues with those people before? And because you brought in your own solution, what was the change? What does that look like? So you can use both numeric number. You can talk about quality in terms of, okay, 10 students were equipped with this knowledge, 5 students that, and you can break it down in little things. You don't have to just be like, oh, they succeeded in their academics. No, let's say they are a science student. So before they used to be a D student in chemistry, now they're a B student. Or before they used to be a C student in maths or physics, and now they're a B plus student or they're an A student. And so you need to really break it down and use that to be able to tell your story and to get more people to support your work and to help you. And this is the document that will keep serving you every year. It will never get old. And this way that you're documenting your work, you're documenting the difference that you're making, it's going to really help you as you keep looking for support and you're looking for people who can definitely continue to support you either monetarily or through their time and their effort as well. So I hope this helped. Also, again, I have a free masterclass coming up on April 5th. Please go to the link in the bio and click on it. Also, if you're looking for ways that you can learn from us, we have trainings both free and paid. You should definitely click on the bio. Click on the bio up there that says learn more about TFM Digital Academy. I'll be back again tomorrow, and until then, keep doing good. Enjoy your Sunday.